Welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. My name is Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you become financially independent, live the dream life, and become successful and employed by investing in real estate so you never ever have to work a job again. Now, today I'm bringing on a fantastic investor who, within 2 months, has already bought 2 rental properties, has already built the business, and is now making money, lots of money in passive income. He's going to show you how you can do it as well. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about investing in real estate with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
Hey, what's going on? I am super blessed, as always, to have you here. I mean, honestly, week in and week out, listening to the show, and you're actually finding now, like, the next couple weeks, in fact, a couple weeks prior and ahead of us, we've been putting out 2 episodes. And the reason why is because RubeCon's coming up, and I have so many friends that I've interviewed, quite a few of them, or been on their podcast as well, and helping each other out by literally just getting our audiences to know each other and giving out great information and sharing how to invest in real estate in different ways, syndications to land investing and all the above. And you're seeing that I'm releasing 2 episodes a week. Hopefully that's good for you. And what's kind of fun is today I'm bringing on a student. He actually started at the very beginning. It was so funny. He said he searched for real estate investing or real estate in iTunes or Spotify or something, and then found mine. I was like the number 1, and then scrolled all the way down to the bottom and listened to number 1. And he's gone through every single one. And then after this interview that you're going to hear, super encouraging and insightful, this interview is with this student of mine. At the very end, after we were recording, he said, "Hey, I just need you to keep putting out more podcasts. I want to hear more podcasts." I'm like, I can do that. So that's why, on top of having lots and lots of episodes that I need to release, I am releasing 2 every single week so you get even more fantastic real estate education. Because, I'm going to keep saying this, and honestly, you hear me say this every single week, is that we are entering the very best time, honestly, like in my lifetime, and maybe like the longest lifetime. It's even better than it was back in 2008. And if you are ready, the best time ever to invest in real estate is here. Like, it's literally now. You see it happening with interest rates going up. Prices are starting to come down. Economy is going bad. Companies are laying off employees. We're printing off billions of dollars and giving them to other countries. It's interesting what's happening. But if you're ready, as a real estate investor is ready, you will make a lot of money. And I am super excited to see you actually do this. And in fact, my student that I'm bringing on, he is just a regular, everyday, I was going to say normal. It's kind of funny. Whenever I say the word normal, I say, oh yeah, this is a normal person that's investing in real estate. I get some weird responses. Like somebody says, well, who's to say what's normal? And I'm like, I never think like that. For some reason, I guess normal just means regular, everyday people. So that's why I'm now saying, sorry, it's a long-winded way of reason why I'm saying regular, everyday person, just like myself. Like, if you consider me your next door neighbor, that's literally what it is, or your friend or a fellow church member that goes with you at church. In fact, I have a lot of students that come from my church that are literally just wanting to invest. And I talked to them. I said, man, I want to be a part of your community. So they joined the community just like you can. If you join the community, you'll be a part of the entire huge community of Master Passive Income. But what I'm seeing is that if you are ready to invest in real estate, if you already are investing, just like my student that I'm bringing on today, he's a regular everyday person. He bought 2 properties in 2 months. It might have been 3 months, but he bought 1 property in the beginning of January, and in February bought his property and got his property under contract. Now he has 2 properties making money for him in passive income every single month, and he's just getting started. And you will get to see this regular everyday person just like me is doing it. You absolutely must do that as well. And my student that I'm bringing on, he is so far ahead than most people. If you have not bought your first property, actually scratch that. Let me take that one back. If you have not built your business, and even before that, if you haven't learned how to build your business, you're behind the eight ball, which means you have a lot of work to do. My student, he started coaching with my coaching, the one-on-one coaching with one of my master passive income coaches. I believe he started in November, October of 2022. And in January of 2023, he bought his first property. February 2023, bought his next property, and he is ready to keep moving forward, buying the next property, then the next property, the next property. It's super fantastic. And honestly, you can do it too. And we're going to show you how. Oh, quickly. He is also coming to the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference. You do not want to miss this. It's May 4th through the 6th, 2023. If you're listening to this in the future, it's going to be every single year. So go to rubcon.com and get your 10% off. Get 10% off your pass. I just want to see you invest. Use the promo code podcast at rubcon.com. Promo code podcast, get 10% off your pass. Next year, I actually just went and scouted out St. Louis, of all places, and I was blown away. St. Louis as a potential place for Rubcon in 2024. I was thinking East Coast, moving away from the West Coast, getting closer to the East Coast people so they don't have to fly so far to come to Rubcon. But St. Louis was super awesome. Quick little side note. My wife and I, we had to go visit some hotels. Visited 4 hotels. They were phenomenal. We loved them. The biggest and best one, I wouldn't say biggest, but the most cool one was Union Station. It was like an old train house or something like that. It was phenomenal. I'm hoping we get that. But on top of that, we saw a bunch of hotels, ate a lot of food. Like we were less than 48 hours in St. Louis. And on top of that, this was the first time my wife and I left the kids home alone, and not just home alone. Obviously, grandparents came over a couple times a day to check on them, but they were basically by themselves, and it was really hard on my wife. So the first time, it's literally less than 48 hours. We flew out and then flew back. It was like 46 hours total of being gone from our kids, but it worked out well. And a quick little side note. Apparently St. Louis is big into baseball, and they had a football team, professional football team a little while ago, St. Louis Rams, but they love the St. Louis Cardinals. They love those people and the players, the team. And what was so great, I had no clue. I mean, once I got older, started having kids, got married, didn't have enough money or time, I stopped watching professional football and professional baseball. I used to watch that stuff all the time. Literally, I don't have time. I don't even know who wins the Super Bowl anymore. It's just the way it is. Now, though, I went to St. Louis and had no idea that the day I'm flying out, we had like 4 or 5 extra hours, and it was opening day in St. Louis. It was like the entire city shuts down for the St. Louis opening day. Everybody comes out, and everybody's wearing red and white, and they're walking around right by the stadium and all around downtown. It was super fun. So if you were one of those people in St. Louis, I had fun with you out there. Then we flew out. We didn't actually get to stay to watch the game, but it was a huge surprise. I had no idea that was happening. I had no idea it was opening day, but it was so fun to be there. If you check out my Instagram, I actually posted a story. And if you don't know my Instagram, go to the Dustin Heiner, THE Dustin Heiner. And I trust me, I'm not that arrogant. It's the only handle I could come up with. But if you go to the Dustin Heiner in Instagram, you'll see me in front of the arch with my wife, and you see us in whatever, like Cardinal Nation or Cardinals Nation or something like that, where the entire stadium is almost just jam packed with people. You'll see that. But okay, let's get into today's show where I am interviewing a fantastic student of mine. Within 2 months, bought 2 properties and is going to continue to grow his business, play Monopoly, get into bigger and bigger properties. I'm bringing on my student, James Roberts, here on the show, showing us how we can invest in real estate just like he did. All right, here we go. James, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, Dustin, it's an honor to be on this. Like, I truly thought I would never be on this show, and it's kind of a surreal moment.
This is so cool. I mean, we were talking a little bit before, because we'll definitely get into this, but buying a house and then moving out and renting it out. I mean, that's really close to house hacking, if not the same thing, to now buying properties, building the business first, which is great. Now, James, you're just a normal. So when I say normal, people are like, what's normal? Well, anyways, you're a regular person, just like I am, and just like most people that are listening to the show. We're just regular people that want to invest in real estate. What got you interested in investing in real estate? And then, talk to us about getting started, because, you found the podcast and you started moving forward, but what got you really interested into investing? And then we'll walk into how you got started.
I'd say what got me into it is just my father-in-law, man, like, cause he has 7 properties, and like I just see how well he is, how well established he is, like how like structured he is. I'm like, man, I could really want that. Like I just like even after like seeing how he's structured and whatnot, like I just don't want to work a job. Like I don't want to be 60 years old and just having to worry about like if I got my job like the next month or whatever. Like I just don't want that. I don't want to rely on anyone. Like, and I'm pretty hard headed, but like I just like to depend on myself and my family and whatnot. So I would say like my father-in-law is a pretty big stepping stone in getting me into the rental property game.
That's great. And then you said that you found me through the podcast. Like you said you were, search on Spotify. Talk to us about that. And then now you're on the show, hopefully being able to encourage anybody listening right now saying, hey, I was right where you are. And now I'm actually investing.
Yeah. So, so honestly, my father-in-law was also a big factor in this because I used to run heavy equipment all the time. And, you just sitting in the equipment, just listen to the radio. And my father was like, man, instead of just listening to the radio, why don't you just find a podcast and just like learn? Like he's like, there's just so much information out there to learn, and like, and you just sit there and just waste your time, just not necessarily like waste your time, but just like listen to the radio instead of just listen to a podcast, and you can just learn so much. So I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I mean, I got a couple minutes. I'll just pull up Spotify and just type in real estate. The first one that popped up. And I scrolled all the way to the bottom, and I started from square one, and I just listened and listened and listened and just gathered so much information. And then like 6 months later, I bought into your coaching, and it's just, I've never looked back.
This is great. And you started coaching with Charles too, which Charles is, I would say he's probably, I don't know, maybe my first 10, like it was in the beginning when I really started doing one-on-one coaching. I was coaching a little bit, but nothing like really diving into it. But like Charles was one of the first ones coaching, and now he's doing tremendously well. And now he's coaching people like you, coaching investors. And what's I love is, so it took me literally like 6 to 7 years to really get enough properties to eventually quit my job. Charles is beating me where in about 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, he's going to be able to quit. And then his students, like they're doing so much better than he is. So it's such a blessing for me to see all this, come to where now people like you are seeing that it's absolutely possible for regular everyday people to do this. Okay. So talk to us about building the business. And the Master Passive Income business model is we don't just buy a property and hope to make money or hope there's appreciation. We literally build a business that makes us money every single month. And talk to us about that process of building the business and then working with Charles in that process.
Yeah. So like I said, so I started renting out my first property, or sorry, my first house. I moved out of that, started renting it to a friend, and then just got the little addiction. And I got your coaching. And then I just started walking through the process of like how to find properties, and then like I actually was in the process of buying a duplex, and then I got on a meeting with Charles, and then we started going through the numbers, and then I'm so thankful that I got on that meeting, because I would have made such a huge mistake, because I was about to pay $30,000 over asking price, and yes, the numbers worked, but long term, it just did not work, because Zillow was saying one thing, I had it bought for another thing, and then it was just.
And I want to pause for a quick second and share that honestly, I really want you to invest in real estate. My new goal in my life, my first goal was to quit my job in 10 years, and I did that, accomplished that at 37. Now my new goal is to help 1 million people invest in real estate. So 2 things I would ask from you. Number 1, if you get anything out of this episode, please share it with somebody else. Just say, hey, check out Dustin and Master Passive Income. He really wants to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to get you to invest in real estate. Get my real estate investing course absolutely for free. Text the word rental, RENTAL, to 33777. Rental to 33777. I'll literally give you my course, show you how to find an area of the country to invest, how to build the business first. I always talk about that, and how to find the right properties, how to make sure you're getting experts to do the work for you, and scale the business to where you're making $250 or more in passive income. Scale it to quit your job. I'll literally get to you, or go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Obviously, it'll be in the description, but I really, really want you to invest in real estate, because the more that actual normal everyday people own real estate that are good landlords, the better everybody's life gets.
Big eye opener. And then so that really made me take a step back and like I gathered all my thoughts and just started analyzing properties way more in depth than what I was, instead of just like, oh, well, this number works. And then I was just like, oh, well, this rents this. And then just like, it just started clicking together. And then I started using a Greenlight analyzer. And then that was a whole world changer after I figured out how to use it. And it was
Totally. And that for everybody listening, get that Greenlight Deal Analyzer. Like, it's literally what we use in our business. And it's taken me a long time to basically get this thing developed. I think if you go to greenlightdealanalyzer.com, a link will be in the description, but definitely get that. I mean, it's really, really cheap, but it literally revolutionized my business and all of our students. They're doing so great. Okay. So talk to us about that first property. If you don't mind sharing, where is it at? Can you share how much you bought it for? What's the passive income, like how much you're making every single month on it?
So my first property I bought back in 2014 and I paid 72,000 for it. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, basically a house with a 2-car garage. And I did a full rehab pre-COVID, and I probably had like $12,000 into it. Me doing all the work myself. And now I'm renting it for $1,200 to $1,300 a month, and I'm clearing three to 350 on that.
That's absolutely amazing. So now in the second property, talk to us about where is that first one at, and then where's the second one at?
So the first one's in Dayton, Ohio, and then my next one is also in Dayton, Ohio, and I bought that in December of 22, like 15 days before the new year. I actually made a pact with Charles that I was going to buy a property before the new year, and I came out pretty strong on that one. But that property, it was listed for 88,000. I got it for 82.5. I put probably 10,000 into it. And I'm renting that for 1350 a month. And
Ooh, that's great.
I think it's almost $700 a month clearing on that.
Wait, and $700 a month in passive income.
Yeah, let me just make sure I'm not telling you the wrong number.
But so if you're making that much and you captured equity, so you saved about, let's say, $5,000 or $6,000 in equity when you bought the property, you capture that equity, and then fixing it up, it's probably worth, I'd say, at least probably 130, 140, maybe 150. And then
115, yeah.
Oh, there you go. And then you also were making 700. This is a home run.
Yeah, it's I just did the math. It's $670 a month.
Whew, that is so awesome. I mean, that's life-changing money. That's the start. And if you keep rolling into the next property, which we're going to talk about now, talk to us about the third property.
So the third property I just kind of stumbled upon. So the seller's realtor that I bought my second property contacted my realtor, said, hey, I kind of have this off-market deal. This lady, her brother died and she wants to get rid of this property. So I was calling my realtor about another property, and she's like, well, it's so funny that you called, is because I have this other one. This lady reached out to me and I'm curious if you want to go look at it. I'm like, well, sure. I was like, where is it? She's like, 2 houses over from the one you just bought. I was like, perfect, I'm sold. So went and checked it out. She was asking 74,000 with all the appliances, like fridge, stove, dishwasher, microwave, washer, dryer, all new appliances. I went and looked at it. It needed some minor updates and whatnot, but I offered her 72,000 with everything. Got that, and I'm actually in the process of finishing that up. I should be finished with that in about 2 weeks, and I already have a renter for that in line, and I'll be getting $1,300 a month for that.
That is Absolutely amazing. And when you think about, there's a number of things that we teach here at Master Passive Income. Number one, building the business so that we have other people running it for us, that we're making money every single month. Another thing we do is we always start telling people that we're an investor. And we always start networking and talking to other people. And if you're, when you said, it just kind of just fell in your lap or like it just came to you, well, a lot of people are thinking, well, how do those happen? Well, it's because when you're an investor, deals just come your way because you're actively doing it. So, James, with that, talk to us about now a lot of people have the thought of, well, how do we get financing? Now, finding a property, let's say we could find a property, but is it really that hard of a thing to get through? Like, what are your thoughts about, and what were some hurdles or some things that you had to get through and to get ordered to get the financing set?
So I would say that financing, it is what you make it. Like if you think it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard, but like it's about as easy as riding a bike. Like as long as you got like your ducks in a row, you got the paperwork that they need, like you give it to them when they need it, like it can go as smooth as you make it to be. And the first property it was a breeze. Like man, my lender, he's awesome. Like he's he's just straight to the point, just ready to get stuff done, ready to get you in that property. And then my third property, I actually had to buy that one cash, so I didn't really have to deal with a lender on that one. So it is what you make of it.
Oh, totally. And what I love is that there are so many options or ways to get financing, and most people don't realize that they're there. They kind of, if you tell them, they'll, oh, that makes sense. But unless you actively do it in your investing, or if you've never done it before, you're not going to realize that I literally know 14 or 15 different ways to get financing for property. So financing is not the problem. And even finding deals are not the problem. The problem is, or the biggest hurdle for most people, if you're going to do it right, is to build the business to make sure you're making money every single month. At the same time, having other people do the work for you. And like you said, having somebody like Charles or myself basically helping and saying, this is what we've seen in the past, and this is what you can do. And, saving money. In fact, that's one of the favorite things I love doing with my students is helping them by saving them money. Like saying, oh, if you're offering this, you could probably offer a little bit lower, or, work out how we can save them money and make the money on the end on top of that. So what would you have as far as like any big lessons that you've learned, anything that like, oh, this was a hurdle or a roadblock and I had to get through that? Do you have anything that you could share with us in that regard?
I would say just the green light analyzer is a true work of art. Like follow that. Like, like I'm not kidding you. It literally probably saved me. Well, it literally saved me $30,000 to $40,000. Like it is just slow down, make sure your numbers are right. Yes, properties go fast. I get that. But like at the end of the day, you need to make sure it works for you. You need to make sure the numbers work. Like just take the time, make sure the numbers work.
I think you're 100% right. And in looking at, so the green light deal analyzer, I call it the 1 minute green light deal analyzer because I put literally everything in it where it takes literally 1 minute to do it right. And you can see like the green lights that light up if it fits our criteria for master passive income. Now, with this analyzer, there's still more due diligence that you have to do to make sure it's a good property, get home inspections, make sure your property managers are okay with it. Because let's say you think you have a good property, you buy it, but you don't have somebody to manage it. Well, you're kind of stuck. So talk to us about building that business. What would you suggest in building the business? If I'm finding the right people to manage the property, financing, contractors, what are your thoughts about building the business? And did you have any hurdles? Or is there anything because that's usually the hardest part for most people.
So I would say, I've probably done this start of my real estate wealth kind of the wrong way. I like to do stuff by myself, and I realize doing all this, you need help. You need help to make it go. Like, especially if you got a family, like I have one kid and a kid on the way, and like it just robs you of so much time. So I think my next go around, I'm definitely gonna take in factors of having a contractor, and then I'm gonna look into more of a property manager kind of thing because like my boy, he is a year and a half, and like I feel like I've lost like 6 months of time with him from doing this. So it's pretty crucial from looking back now that I should have done the building the business, find the people that can do the work for me to where I can just basically just cut the check and collect the money.
I 100% agree. And that's something that I love now, because a lot of people might say, well, why would I get a property manager? Because I could save the money. Well, if you could save the money and pay yourself, that's great. But then that's that much time that you're actually putting into your own business, as opposed to having somebody else do the work and you go back and play with your kids. So that's absolutely something that I personally try to do, is make sure that the property managers are accounted for. Now, if you manage it yourself, you can put that money in your pocket, which is good. Just know that's the time you got to put into it. But then at least if something bad happened or you wanted to stop managing the properties, you already have that expense already in the business. Man, James, this is so terrific. You're also coming to the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference, right?
Yes.
Now, this is going to be great to be able to hang out there. So what made you want to come to the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference?
Honestly, because it's so inspiring, and like it just makes me so driven by hearing all the stuff that's on your podcast, all the speakers that are going to be there. Like, because I want to get into Airbnbs. I want to learn more about that. I want to learn about land because I'm interested in farming and whatnot, because I live out in the country right now and I'm very curious about farmland and all of that. And it's just, I don't know, the options just seem endless at the conference. Like, it just seems like there's so much knowledge to be at your fingertips, and it's just it's just something I want to be a part of because I want to be successfully unemployed.
There we go, man. So as soon as you become successfully unemployed, I'm literally going to be sending you a shirt, the successfully unemployed shirt, so you have it too. But man, James, this has been so awesome. I'm hoping the audience is listening to this. Like, if you're listening to this, I want you to realize that James and I are just regular people, regular everyday people, that we have something that we would love to share, and that this is what we do. And as an investor, if we can do it, anybody could do it. So James, thank you so much for coming on the show, hopefully giving a lot of people encouragement, seeing that anybody can do this. So I really appreciate you for coming on, James.
Awesome, man. It was a privilege to be on here. Very surreal moment.
Awesome. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you at RubeCon. So everybody else, if you want to come to RubeCon, get your pass 10% off. Use the promo code podcast. It'll get you 10% off your ticket. I'd love to see you be with us. Link will be in the description. But James, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thanks, man. It was awesome.
And that is it for today. Go ahead and get my free real estate investing course. Text the word rental to 33777. RENTAL to 33777. You can also join my Real Estate Wealth Builders group coaching. Get all my courses. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next show. See ya.